Hi, my name is Ariel Lane, and this is my assignment 4 Module 5 project for Educational Leadership AEP Class 855. For Part 1, it was to select 2 articles or videos that demonstrate how great leaders lead in an inclusive manner. So for my first resource, I chose an article written by Morrow in 2017 from the Profiles in Diversity Journal article called Moving the Dial, Measuring Inclusive Leadership. In this article called Moving the Dial, through Morrow's research, they've learned that the behaviors demonstrated by inclusive leaders can be described in about 11 competencies and measured with the inclusive leadership assessment that they created. So this model focuses on results and takes into account diversity and talent. The first part of the dial is lead self, or that's my first part. It's important to recognize the differences in people and let those differences be included in our decision making. Inclusive leaders usually recognize that everyone has their own opinions and views and creative outlets and uniquenesses, and that those differences can contribute to uniqueness of the work environment. It's also important to know that with diversity comes biases and different beliefs and opinions. Inclusive leaders usually help minimize these issues through conversations and actions and by just being open to others. It's important for the leader to show authenticity and to also show that they care about the organization that they're working for. And for these leaders to show strength in solving problems and be there to help build others up. The second one is leads culture in the dial. And inclusive leaders strengthen community and they help build great relationships around themselves and the organization. They create usually trusting and very hearty relationships that nurture trust and respect. They help others in their development and help others increase their strengths and focus on weaknesses too. These leaders usually value everyone's commitment, focus, and accomplishments and build other self-esteem and confidence. In this, the inclusive leaders, they share power back and forth and then credit the ideas and innovation of others to let them know that they're trying hard within the organization and that they value their efforts. The third one is lead relationships. And in this part of the dial, inclusive leaders usually create comfortable environments where people feel free to be themselves. These leaders share successes and failures. They treat others equally and they try to understand each other's differences and how diversity can improve the organization that they work at. So Morrow's group decided to create this dial assessment for measuring leaders and how they fit this dial in their competencies and hopefully establish some sort of benchmark for the leaders. My second resource that I found was the article, The Inclusive Leadership, the View from 6 Countries. And I found this article very interesting. It had a lot of good graphics too. This article was written by Catalyst in about 2014, and they surveyed around 1,500 employees from 6 different countries, so like Australia, China, Germany, India, Mexico, and the United States. They surveyed these employees on their experiences of inclusive leadership within the company, and what they found was a common definition of inclusion among most people in most of the countries. The surveys produced interesting results, and across the range of all the countries surveyed, a general consensus stated that the higher the team citizenship, the higher the rate of the innovation was. When employees felt more included, they had a higher sense of citizenship and innovation. There seems to also be a fine line between the aspects of belongingness and uniqueness. A company had a good sense of both, where employees feel they belong to this group, but they also felt unique in their own way. The survey produced results stating a consistency between the two factors, in order for the employees to be innovative and have team citizenship, they need to feel included, which meant that they also need to feel like they belong, but also feel a sense of uniqueness in themselves. So they put on the article, belongingness plus uniqueness equals inclusion in most of the countries. It wasn't so prevalent in India. The survey then looked at the 4 behaviors linked to altruistic leader: empowerment, humility, encouragement, and accountability. And the more of these qualities a leader had, the greater the employee's sense of inclusion was. So you can see on the graph what they had put in their article. So for my part 2, it said to weave ideas from the course and research into the presentation and discuss how leaders in education could successfully apply inclusive leadership. Through the 5 practices of leadership outlined in the Leadership Challenge, there was model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. So with model the way, our behavior as leaders is what wins our respect. And it's important to lead by example and to teach others what is expected. Number 2, inspire a shared vision. Leaders have to have followers, so it's important to create a shared vision with others by giving hope and promise to future goals and making your goals everyone else's goals. Number 3, challenge the process. It is important to not always stay stagnant, but look for new opportunities and innovation and ways to improve and be unique. Try new ways and experiment and learn from any mistakes. Number 4 was enable others to act. Leaders need to foster a collaborative and trusting environment and relationship in order to encourage others to strive along with you. And last was 5, encourage the heart, which is ways to encourage the heart is for leaders to praise and compliment for doing good and working hard. And if leaders value their employees' contributions and hard work ethic, it enables people to feel like they're part of something more and encourages them to feel like they're part of a family that they care about. I would imagine that inclusive leadership at my school would look like a school where everyone can feel comfortable for who they are and where everyone can have a say and where everyone has the ability to be heard. In my career as a teacher, I have found that many ways to be able to be an inclusive leader, these are the ones I value most in education. So I have my top 6, I guess. Collaborative problem solving. So in order for a school to run successfully, there needs to be more than one head trying to fix everything. There is always a principal or director, but it's important to include essential staff or everyone that feels they want to be heard to help solve issues that arise. In this, there can be greater outcome of success. The next one is lead by example. It's important as a leader to show others how we need to approach issues, how we need to model behavior and present ourselves as a collective for excellence. The next one is building relationships. As with collaborative problem solving, it takes more than one person to really see all the aspects of what's going on. 2 heads are better than 1 kind of thing. It's important to create a community of support for each other. Next one is show others that you care. And with this aspect of leadership is very important in that when you show others that you are passionate about what you do and how it's important to you, you give them a sense of trust and that if they help you, they will also be successful in your success. And to know that someone cares is to know that they will definitely try to work their hardest. Next is to just be who you are. People follow leaders who are authentic and show their true colors. And when a leader lays everything out on the table and shares what they are about and their values, people can really relate to those values and feel more of a sense of togetherness. In being authentic, it opens you up to building relationships and having a more trusting community. Last is recognizing small achievements. Most organizations have big goals they want to accomplish, but it is a journey to get there. And it's important to create small steps and goals along the way and to credit those who have achieved those goals. As many have said, it's not always the destination that's important, but the journey itself. And in celebrating these small successes along the way, you help keep up morale and improve everyone's outlook on the future. So next is part 3, which is identify and describe the leadership challenges of being an inclusive leader. As a teacher for some years now, I've seen many challenges that inclusive leaders face, and I would say my top 4 challenges are creating a trustful, collaborative community, finding time to provide necessary supports that maintain and encourage growth, and authenticity and personal beliefs and opinions. So we'll look at the first one. Creating trustful, collaborative community. Creating a trusting community is very time consuming, and it often takes up a lot of effort to get everyone basically on the same page and come together. Some people don't want to be very interactive or social, so it is hard to create a longing sense of community with people that are not really trusting or quite social. The important part is to just try to get people more involved and talking to each other. We need to help create collaborative goals too, to show that when one person succeeds, we all do. The next one is finding time to provide necessary supports that maintain and encourage growth, such as just planning together, having meetings, professional development. In order to move forward and succeeding, people have to be constantly learning and improving, and it's very hard sometimes to find time to take professional development classes or work together to co-plan for the month. But anything that is worth doing well. And if there's any time to collaborate, it is important to learn from mistakes as they arise and encourage growth from those situations. The next one is authenticity. I have not seen many leaders that really show their vision of the future in education. They focus more on the present and problems occurring. In order to feel inspired and part of something, the leaders need to show passion and express themselves. When they open up, only then can they really trust that person. Last one is personal beliefs and opinions. I know when you usually have a goal, sometimes there's contradicting beliefs, and there will always be differing thoughts on anything. But it's the leader's job to try and be proactive and create shared visions and values and goals. It's good to be unique, but you have to stand for what you believe, and if others don't agree, then there still needs to be a sense of respect. By feeling strong in something, you can help others be persuaded by your vision, expertise, and charisma. That's my video, so thank you for listening.